Hello and welcome. My name is Jiří Svoboda. I'm one of the contributors to HelenOS, the operating system project. HelenOS 0.7.2 was released 2 days ago, and I wanted to go through some of the new features and changes in this release. Last release was 7 months ago, so we've switched to a faster release cycle. So we have smaller releases, but you will find that there's still quite a few new features in this release, and we'll go through them. First let's download the image. You can see the image on the front page is the 32-bit image. The reason for that is that we used to post the 64-bit image, but people just run them in an emulator, and some of the emulators emulate a 32-bit machine as the default, and then people complain that it doesn't work. So I will just go with the 32-bit image. You can get the 64-bit from the downloads page. So I'm gonna save it. So I'm going to use QEMU to run the system. And we'll enable KVM just to make it a little bit faster. Right, so there it is. Perhaps more than with other releases, there's been a lot of work behind the scenes in the kernel, in the interprocess communications framework. We made a lot of improvements, in the past we had 3 different character device interfaces, and we unified those. There's been a lot of improvements in terms of compliance with the ISO C standard, so now our library is much more compliant, and there's been a project where integrated with C++ support, so we now can run C++ programs. There's one which is called CPP test, and this basically just exercises the standard C library, but in the future we're hoping to use this to so we can upgrade to newer versions of GCC which are written in C++ or port other software which is again written in C++. Okay. So to show you other new features, we have some new drivers, so I need to actually emulate some devices. So let me just stop this emulation and take this prepared command line here, which adds some devices. So you can see we are adding a network card, VirtuoNet, which is a new addition in this release, and also another one is XHCI, in other words USB 3. So we can start the simulation, and now to see devices we can run diffctl command, and you will see that we have an extended host controller interface, which is the XHCI or USB 3, and basically as I'm moving the mouse it's using the driver which is under the USB 3 nexus, so that seems to be working. And then there's a VirtuoNet, so network card. This is the QEMU para-virtualized network, and to check if it's working we can list our network cards, or we can look at our address configuration. So we can see the Virtuo actually received a network address from DHCP. We can check that yes, so name resolution works. So we're basically connected to the network. Right. So that's USB 3, Verteo, C++. So already in the previous release we've had a volume server which probes disks and determines what kind of file system they contain. In this release it actually mounts the file systems. So there's also a new utility that you can run, which is called vol, and that will list your volumes. So you can see the volume name or label, you can see the device name, what content does it have. So in this case it's ISO 9660 or CD file system, where it's mounted and whether that's an automatic mount point. Currently this will always be yes, and you can see it's mounted in a directory called /vol. We can see we can look there, and you can see it's actually mounted. So this works for CDs, it also works for USB sticks. It's currently disabled for hard drive partitions to be on the safe side, and currently there is no mechanism to customize this to, for example, have it mounted at a particular directory, but that's for the future. Okay, I hope you like this little demo. If you're interested, there's more stuff. There's more new stuff, and if you're interested, you can go to downloads and open the release notes, and you can get all the detail about what's new in this release. So if you're interested, I recommend reading that, so you can see there's a lot of new stuff. Okay, thank you for watching. If this is your first time with HelenOS, I recommend you try it out. If not, I recommend you look at the new features. If you are interested in HelenOS, go to our website www.helenos.org. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.